Pentatonic scale, major pentatonic scale. I just played G major pentatonic scale. I started with the 5th string on the 10th fret. As guitar players, we have no choice to learn the two most widely used pentatonic scales, which are the major pentatonic scale and the minor pentatonic scale. The major pentatonic scales comes from the major scale. The major scale has 7 notes, play in succession until you reach the note you started with. You started with in the first place, which is now the octave. 7 notes in a normal scale, but for the pentatonic scale, we have the word penta. That's a Greek word, I believe, which means 5, and tonic. Also, I think comes from Greek tonikos, I think, and then you put the two together, pentatonic, and you have pentatonic, which means you play 5 notes instead of 7, the regular 7 that you play in a regular scale like the major scale. The major pentatonic scale comes from the major scale. You have 7 notes in a major scale, so the notes that you take from the major scale are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, remember that that's one of the reasons why as musicians we need to learn our scales, because now you have to know, okay, what is a major scale? That for another time. But now what I'm trying to tell you right now is that the major pentatonic scale that I just played, G major pentatonic scales, you just take 5 notes from the major scale, and those 5 notes are 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Remember, each note on a major scale has a number attached to it. Okay? Like the first note is 1. Okay? The second note is 2, and so on and so on. So now, those scales, those are pentatonic scales, they are very, 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 very nice to play. And what I like about the scale is that if you know 1, you know 2. You use one in one shape. Okay, I use scale shape. I use scale shape when I'm playing the pentatonic scales. I just play the major pentatonic scales, and this is the shape. Okay, you see my fingers? Okay, right here, 10 fret, 5th string. Okay, this is the highest note of this excuse me, this is the highest note of this shape I just played. This is scale shape. Okay, so the highest note for the G major pentatonic scale is E. And E, what is it? In the G, if you know your scale, the major scale, okay, E in the major scale is the sixth note. The sixth note. It's the note number 6. So a good way to learn your pentatonic scale is to give a name to the scale according to the highest note that you play in the shape. Okay, so here I have E. Okay, and if you play the G major scale, this note number 6 in the G major scale is E. So this scale shape for the pentatonic scale, G major pentatonic scale, I call it position of 6 because the highest note is a 6. So that's the way I'm going to recognize what shape I'm using. There are several shapes on the guitar that you're going to play the same G major pentatonic scales. But now, and each of them is going to have a number as the position you are playing in. Right now, I'm playing G major scale, G major pentatonic scale, position of 6, because the highest note in the shape I just played is the sixth note of the G major scale. I hope I'm not confusing you, but it is very, very important that we learn our scales, especially the most widely used one like the G, like the major scales, minor scales, stuff like that. Okay? Another thing that when you play one shape for, like, let's say the G major pentatonic scale I just play, that's the shape for. In one shape you can get two pentatonic scale. You can get the major pentatonic scale and the minor pentatonic scale, which is actually related to the scale. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of that. Okay, I'm going to play the G major pentatonic scale again, and then I'm going to show you I can play also, okay, the minor scale that is related to this major scale. If I go down one minor third, and I will go to the root of the minor scale. Okay, here's the G major pentatonic scale again, and I'm going to play all the way to the highest note, E, which means I'm playing in the position of 6, because E is note 6 in the G major scale. Here we go. G, I'm going to start with G, 5th string, 10th fret. E, position of 6. Now, remember I told you that's one shape. In one shape, I can get two pentatonic scale. I can get the minor pentatonic scale related to the G major pentatonic scale. All I have to do, go down one minor third. Okay, here it is, which is E minor pentatonic scale. Okay? So I'm going to go down again. See? G major pentatonic scale, E minor pentatonic scale. Okay? I'm not going to give you the name, the position, the position number for the E minor pentatonic scale because I don't want to confuse you. Now, the only thing we know, you know, if you play G major pentatonic scale using this shape I just used, position of 6, you can also play the E minor pentatonic scale related to the G